Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys had a fun roller coaster ride with Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners today, because it was wild today, at least in the 24 hours for Monday. So we'll take a look at Bitcoin. We'll take a look at the miners, how they did today. We'll also take a look at Cleanspark came out with news regarding them getting to 28.7 exahash and then appointing, not appointing, but actually promoting somebody within the organization. We also have CORZ reporting their September numbers, so we'll look at that. And then we'll briefly also talk about Riot with their AI, what's the word I'm looking for there? Ambitions, maybe. So we'll take a look at all that, but you guys know the drill here. Not financial advice, for entertainment only. Please do your own research. Full disclosure below that. If you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And thank you so much for coming in to watch this. Greatly appreciate you guys. And let's take a look at here what we got going on the charts here with Bitcoin. So we can see here, this is a 1 hour chart on Bitcoin today. And it started, let me see here. When did it start? It started, where was it? Here it is. Okay, so here's Monday timeline, right? It started right here. Bitcoin was at 63,000. And it went down, all the way down to about 62,000. It went up to 64,000, almost 500 at that point. And then it went back down again throughout the day. It was just a crazy roller coaster ride for Bitcoin. You can see it here on the daily chart as well, on the candle. I mean, we were up, down, up, down throughout the day. Miners didn't follow suit. Bitcoin was up almost 2% at one point, but the miners were still going down into the red. So I've talked about this yesterday a little bit, where if we see, well, I said yesterday that Bitcoin, with the price that we're seeing increasing on Bitcoin last night, that we might see where when we get into U.S. trading, we might actually tank on Bitcoin. And we did. So it actually kind of played out the way I thought. I was hoping we would have a nice, better day, but we're still in the red here, but we're still not looking too bad here. The good sign is the 50-day simple moving day average is getting close to our 100 simple day moving average. We have that cross happening here probably, I'm guessing, maybe this week, unless Bitcoin really goes down here. But if that happens, I think we're off to the races. We had the same thing happen here last year. Right? We talked about this in last night's stream as well. We saw back here. You can see here, here's the 50-day simple moving average. This was back in October 16th. And 50-day moving average, 100 simple day moving average, they did eventually cross here. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here happening as well this time around. And we went out to the races from 20-some thousand to 73,000 at the peak here. So I'm getting ready. Also, I did buy some more today. I bought some more Bitfarms, Cleanspark, and IREN as well. Price were coming down, so I'm like, okay, this is a good entry point to get back into them. I've been buying, I think last time I bought was maybe 2-3 weeks ago. So I wanted to buy some more, had some cash laying around, wanted to buy into them. Okay, so did that. And the miners, how did the miners do today? Well, most of them were down except for Riot. Riot was up quite nicely throughout the day. It actually ended up in the green here. But the miners, you can see, were down. ANI was down just a little bit here, 0.03%. Argo was down 4%. Digital was down 5.6%. BitTeer down 3.2%. Bitfarms down 6.4%. Cypher down 1.9%, almost 2%. Cleanspark was down 5%. CORZ was up actually 1.4%. Digihost was down 0.93%. DMG up 0.5%. Hive was down 2.8%. Hut 8 was down 2.5%. IREN was down 3.8%. Mara was down 1.9%. Mawson was down 2.4%. Riot, like we talked about, was up 3.9%. Stronghold was down 4.7%. And Wolf was down 8.4%. Wolf has been coming down here recently, I think. Yeah, I mean, we went up to 534 and it's been coming down here. I think maybe this is because of the lack of news on anything concrete with HPCI business or business potential there for them. And then Riot here was up today because there were a couple of stories that came out regarding the interview that Jason had with Bryce and Anthony last week. And they asked him straight up, would you be interested in any HPC business if it came your way, if the right deal came along, similar to CoreWeave? And he said, yeah, I mean, that would be basically, I'm paraphrasing, but basically said that they would be stupid not to evaluate those types of deals and possibly get into them. And so the stock, I think, the news today came out on it, and the stock reacted to that news, I believe. But he did say that they are still fully working towards their Bitcoin mining side of things. But if a deal does show up that's that nice, then yeah, I mean, that would be, like, I think anybody, even Cleanspark or Marathon, would be stupid not to entertain that type of deal. So definitely something that is out there. Will they get something? Who knows? Time will tell, right? But they're definitely not being active and searching for those types of deals. They're yielding phone calls, and that's about it right now. Okay, so we'll see if anything materializes for them. I think it would be good in the long sense, just like for any miner that gets a nice HPCI deal like CoreWeave did with Core Scientific. So I'm all for that if it happens. But yeah, that's it on this. Let's take a look at here on the stories that we do have here. So first one's going to be on Cleanspark. Cleanspark reaches 28.7 exahash in hash rate. So the company today announced normal operations have resumed after 365 megawatts of power was shut down in the wake of Hurricane Helen. The company's hash rate has since reached 28.7. As you're aware, Florida is bracing for another hurricane. It's going to be a monster again. And it's a strange one, too, because it developed right in the Gulf there, which typically they don't. So it's pretty rare for that to happen. But it doesn't look like it's going to affect Georgia operations or any like Tennessee, Kentucky operations there, depending on the way it goes forward after it kind of barrels through Florida. So if you live in Florida, I hope you guys are preparing. Hope you guys are evacuating if possible, going someplace safe. I just want everybody to stay safe there. But that's it on that one. So this is great news, right? They were 27-something here when they reported September numbers. So 28.7 is another 1 exahash increase or something like that, roughly, on it. I don't have the numbers in front of me. And then Cleanspark also came out today later on that they are promoting. So Cleanspark names Chief Accounting Officer. So Brian Carson was promoted from his previous role, Director of Financial Reporting. This is good news for the guy. Congratulations to him, and we'll leave it at that. Next here is CORZ Scientific. So CORZ Scientific announced the September 2024 production and operations update. And here's what we have here. So here's a quote from Adam Sullivan. In September, we completed the migration of all IC miners from 2 of our Bitcoin mining data centers designed for HPC conversion. Our team is now diligently removing the associated cabling, power, distribution units, racks, and other mining infrastructure to facilitate this transformation. So that's great to hear. And then supporting our HPC expansion, we have commenced work on substation at our Muskogee, I think this is Oklahoma site, where we plan to construct a state-of-the-art 100 megawatt data center. Additionally, we are on schedule to finalize the 100 megawatt expansion of our Pecos, Texas Bitcoin mining data center, and we remain committed to delivering the powered infrastructure equipment with advanced liquid cooling systems, specifically optimized for AI GPU cloud workloads for our HPC customer beginning in the first half of 2025. Boy, that's a run-on sentence. As we execute on our current projects, we are also focused on expanding our infrastructure portfolio to drive long-term growth and enhance shareholder value, said Mr. Sullivan. So that's all great there. Okay. As far as the production was concerned, production was down a little bit here to 345 in September compared to August, which was 358. Self-mining energized hash rate was down a little bit here, 20.4. Last month they were 20.5, so that's not much of a difference there. That could be because of them moving things around. And then Bitcoin sold here was 370, which if you add up what they had for Bitcoin mined, maybe this is hosting Bitcoin earned by customers, so I think this is what the customers got, and they get a percentage of that. That's why they sold 370 of that on that one. And that's basically it here, I think, yeah. On it. So let's take a look at my spreadsheet here. We'll get into the Q&A side of things. But CORZ, as of last report, had about 258 million shares outstanding. Market cap now is at 3.1 billion. They are in second place here to Marathon here. Marathon is the only one that's higher than them. If you look at the market caps of the miners here, I just updated this today. You can see that actually Marathon, let me do this in order. This is going to probably mess things up. Hold on. Let me get rid of that because otherwise things won't be messed up. Let me do this. Do this descending. Okay, there we go. So we got Marathon, number 1 spot with 4.7 billion. Core at 3.1, almost 3.2. Number 2 spot. Riot is now in number 3 spot here, 2.4, followed by Cleanspark at 2.2. And then you get IREN at 1.5, TeraWolf at 1.5 as well. So that's kind of the way things stack up. So Chris, you're right. Riot is a little bit higher than Cleanspark here. I don't know why. I think the numbers were just messed up on me. But you're correct there. That's the market cap on those things. And let's see. Yeah, Riot. That's the way they stack up right now. Okay, back to CORZ Scientific here. So 250 million shares, 3.1, almost 3.2 billion. Their performance over the last 12 weeks has been pretty good. They're up 20% from 12 weeks ago, 20% from 8 weeks ago, from 4 weeks ago. They're up 9%. Last week, they were up just a little bit here, 0.25%. Total hash rate, I have them at 20.5. They said 20.4. We're pretty close to that. I'm not going to be changing things around on them while they're moving stuff around. And let me see, BTC production here has been coming down, right? And the result of that is because their hash rate has been flat over the last probably 6 months or so as they move things around. They're not adding new machines, not replacing old machines as well. So that's a result of that happening, plus the halving event that we saw here. Halving event was in April, and we saw almost a 50% drop in it in May. and it's been dropping down from there as well. So I really would like to see them get those 15 exahash machines from Block. I don't know when those are coming in yet. I haven't seen anything concrete on that either. So that would be nice, a little pump there for them if they can do that within the next, I would say probably, maybe 2 to 4 months. If they could do that, that'd be great. Okay, revenues has also been coming down here to 20.82 million, my estimate number here for them on that one. We talked about the hash rate here being flat, right? BTC sold, they've been selling more than they mine. Obviously, that's part of the hosting there as well. And then their BTC per exahash efficiency is down 16.83. That's, I would say that's kind of low on the average side of things for them, but that's because they've been moving things around on that. Bitcoin sold value, how much they sold, 22.6 million. And then when we look at institutions, we can see here that institutions did increase a little bit here to 257. Shares also increased just slightly, 256.7 million, 60% owned by the institutions. We now have 9 strong buy ratings, 2 buy ratings, 0 holds, 0 underperforms, 0 sells. Price target still stayed the same at 20 for the highs, 16.27 down just a penny, and the low stayed at 13 on it. Going down here, as far as their uptime here, based on my numbers, I'm estimating that they're operating for about 22 days out of the month, which is pretty close to where they were also in August at 22.8. So they're down a little bit here, 22.7 roughly on it. Okay. Now, based on where they are here and what I think they should be, I think they should be somewhere between 1281 and 1921. I still think that they're slightly undervalued here based on that, but that's not taking into account the future revenue that they're going to be getting from the HPCI business from CoreWeave. This one here kind of includes that as well, looking at the last month revenue for Bitcoin mining. And I think we're adding Q2 revenue for HPC hosting, dividing by 3. So we're getting roughly, because they do have CoreWeave in there right now at one of their data centers that they're leasing from, I think it was HP or something like that. So they're generating something for it. So I added that in there as well. And I'm in between 726 and 1089. But again, that's not taking into account the future revenue that they're going to have for the full amount they're going to be getting from CoreWeave. So I still think that they're undervalued once you add that in, especially that revenue side of things. But yeah, that is a big thing for them. Is I'd like to see them to swap out some of their older machines, the ASICs that they have. They do have some of these 98 terahash machines, 102 terahash, 100 and 100 terahash machines. They got a lot of those. So it would be nice to see if they could get those swapped out, because they have what do they have here? Based on this, 269,000, 270,000 miners roughly that are like pretty old here, or getting old, and that represents approximately, what does that represent? 26 exahash, is that right? No, because I'm counting some of these older ones here. Let me see here, going from here to down here, about 10 exahash on this stuff here. So if they swapped out some of these older ones here, what do we got here? Let's take a look. What are we still counting here? We're counting 13 exahash, I guess. It's going to be 14.6 exahash. We include those in there as well. So 15 exahash, if they get the newer ones, replace those, they're going to have much better joules per terahash, so they're going to be more profitable going forward. But that's it. They're doing everything else right. Huge HPCI deal with CoreWeave. And yeah, the stock's going to continue to go up. As far as how high it can go, time will only tell. Okay, but that's it. What else can we take a look at here? We can take a look at the enterprise metrics really quick as well. As of today, what are we seeing now here? Based on what we're seeing is currently CORZ kind of stepping up here a little bit ahead of Bit Digital as far as their valuation. TeraWolf, while Core is showing that they're most valued right now, even beating out TeraWolf recently. But TeraWolf has been coming down in value, and we can see the same thing as going forward. But we still see like Cleanspark, Riot, Bitfarms, Iris being still way undervalued for the future hash rate growth. So those I would expect to flip eventually, some of these guys over here, especially when Bitcoin starts going up in value at that point. Okay, that is it. All right, you guys know the drill. Patreon members, thank you to everyone there for their continued support. If you want to become a Patreon members, you get access to all my spreadsheets in PDF format, Excel exported, and the actual Apple numbers spreadsheets version as well of that through Patreon. Link for that is down in the description. $8 a month. You might be able to find a spot that's $4 or $5. But let's get into the Q&A side of things and have some fun here. See what you guys have to say on any of this stuff. Okay, so let me catch up with some questions here up top, see if I missed anything on it. Oh, what else here? Okay. Let's see, that one. GCB says, I am so tired of Bitfarms. Dilute slow to complete goals, such a dud. Yeah, it's been a dud here recently. I'm hoping it picks up going forward, especially once it gets to 21 exahash and then does much better going forward. But yeah. Let's see. You're much braver than me, Sebastian, for buying Bitfarms today. I just have high conviction still. Okay. What do you guys think the share price will be of Bitfarms end of year, depending on where Bitcoin goes? If Bitcoin goes to around 100,000, I'm guessing it's going to be probably 3x to 4x from here, somewhere around there. It's hard to tell. Let's see. What else we got here? Okay, let's see. LTD says, I only invest money I can hold till 28 plus. This is financial advice. Are you talking about the year 2028 or until the stock is at $28? Okay, so after today, has Riot finished its bull run? I don't want anyone to buy the peak. No, it has not finished its bull run. It'll go up, especially if Bitcoin goes up. Bitcoin will lift all boats at that time. So, but it could do better, I think, if it had much better uptime. Okay. Reynolds says, I'm sure glad I own lots of CORZ family of shares. I bought 6,475 shares of CORZW at 7 the other day, and I'm up on those. I'm over 68 now. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Man, my dad's doing really well with CORZ. I have a little bit of CORZ as well. I bought him as well. It was a couple months back now. Okay. LTD says the October surprise is looking like natural disasters. Sad but true. Yeah, I mean, but I think Bitcoin, we're still early on Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin's still going to do very well. Time will tell, though. Okay. How does the dilution of additional stock affect your price targets for Cleanspark and IREN? I agree that a 2 to 3x BTC price would reflect 3 to 5x on miners. Does this change drastically price targets? Depending on how much they dilute, right? Cleanspark, I think, is still not done with their 800 million ATM right now. I don't think they've used up all of that. We'll find out when they report their fiscal year-end numbers, because that ended in September here. So we'll find that out. I'm guessing maybe late November. We might find that out from them. And we'll have to see what IREN has done with their ATM as well. I don't know if they're done diluting. But at that point, it might affect where do I see the price going up, depending. Right? But then also depends on what kind of will their outlook be for 2025. Are they going to double from where they are at the end of this year, or where are they going to go? I think that will also depend on that. Okay. Let's see. Thank you for all your efforts and sharing them. You're very welcome. Thank you for coming in. Let's see. Did coming hurricane will affect Cleanspark? I don't think so. The path that it's showing right now is just going to go like straight through the middle of Florida and then go out to the ocean maybe. So I don't think so. At least right now it's not looking like that. It could change path though. Okay. Cleanspark 250 says if Riot can find an HPCI customer that doesn't mind 50% downtime, hopefully they can get a deal. Well, with that, even if the rates of electricity are much higher, that's why Riot curtails, because it's beneficial to them. But even if you get electricity rates at peak, 13, 15, 20 cents per kilowatt hour, whatever it is, HPCI is... you're making $2 or something like that, $2, $3 per kilowatt hour. I don't think they're going to mind it. So I think they're going to have the operational uptime, and then they can curtail the rest of their Bitcoin mining facilities to help out the grid. Okay. Thanks for the update, Seb. You're very welcome. Again, thank you for coming in here. See, is BitDigital a good acquisition target for Riot? Could improve their HPC AI contracts. I mean, that's the only thing that they're getting is the HPC AI contracts. They would get some HPC machines as well, but you're not getting any infrastructure. So anybody that's asset light, no infrastructure, I think is not a really good buyout potential. But I could be wrong on it. Okay. Hi, Seb. When Bitcoin miners decide to dilute shares, what factors do they typically consider beforehand, and do they price prediction? And do your price prediction spreadsheets account for potential dilution? Thank you. They do not. For the most part, they do not account for that. I think I've had one spreadsheet that was forward-looking where I also included the number of shares possibly being increased on that. I don't know if I still have that one. I'll have to look for it. But what do they look for? They look for where do they want to go, right? How much cash do they think they're going to need to do that? And then do they also think it's accretive to investors, which a lot of them will say that it is. And I think some of them do do that where it is accretive. So that's kind of what they probably look at. Okay. Let's see. Right. Okay. Eddie says, "I did it, guys. I took a loan of 5,000 loan to buy. Please tell me you didn't. Please tell me you're joking on that one. Never borrow money to invest. I guess is a simple thing to say. Why is Bitcoin not going up? This is so annoying. We're getting there. Just a couple more. I'm thinking it could be a couple more days to maybe a week or so, but I think we're getting close to that October rip here." Okay. Hi, do you think after the verdict, Cleanspark can have a positive trajectory? What verdict? Is there a lawsuit they're in right now? I think there is, but I just don't know if it's been solved yet or resolved. Let me know. Okay. Okay, here we go. CORZ block Q4, Q1 would be ideal. Q2 core weave. My CORZ position is all house money. Considering 28, 29 hodl for bank. What's thoughts on a 5-year hold when considering how high AI has held it steady? Yeah, I think this is CORZ might be the one that you may want to hold for a longer period of time than the next 12 months. Especially as they get their HPC customer core weave to start paying for their facilities and things like that. So I think that might do much better in the bear market if we have another one. Let's see. Hey Seb, which miners will be impacted by the 2 hurricanes, if any? It doesn't look like anyone will be impacted right now, at least, depending on its path. If the path changes, then we're looking at different things. But right now, the way it's looking, I think none of them are going to be impacted. Okay, let's see here. Is it only me or anyone else gets money when miners are up and then when miners go down? Depending how you're trading, it might be. It's definitely not me. I've been buying on the dips here. Sadie, thank you so much. Likes help the channel. Appreciate it. Is Cleanspark a good buy right now? I still think so. I think it's pretty low from where it probably should be. Cleanspark, IREN, Bitfarms. I mean, all of these guys are still pretty low from where they really should be on things. As we'll see that improvement once Bitcoin starts going up higher. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Dear Lewis seems to think, per comment today, that MicroStrategy outperforms miners in the next few months. In the next few months, maybe, but I don't think by the top of Bitcoin, I don't think that's the case. I could be wrong on this because historically it hasn't done it. So that's why I'm going by historical data. Okay. Do you see some miners mining 1,000 plus Bitcoin monthly when fees go up in the coming bull run? Oh, wow, we would need a lot of fees at that point. What do we get on the miners right now? The miners, let me see my spreadsheet here really quick. Miner comparison. Let's see if we look at September numbers here. Here's what we have for September numbers across the board for all these guys here. Let's see, BitDigital was 51, BitDeer was 164, Bitfarms 217, Cypher was 151, Cleanspark was 493, Core was 345, Hive was 112, Hut 85, 347, Mara was 657, so they would be the closest. And they have about, I don't know what their percentage of the network is right now. Riot is at 412. I mean, you're looking at an additional possibly, let's just say they get to 50 exahash by the end of the year, and they might be at that point around 700 or something like that. You're looking at 200 BTC just for them alone. And if they own 5% of the market, what would that be? That'd be like 2,000. Am I doing the math right? 2,000, 4,000 BTC overall in fees for just the 1 month. That might be kind of tough. Okay. Why do you think miners go down when BTC go up? What is behind it? Sometimes they front run it to the upside and to the downside also. Could be also profit taking at that point. We had a nice Friday for a lot of these guys. So that could be also a contributing factor to it. And also we had the markets down today. We had NASDAQ down, S&P, all these guys were down today. Okay. Let's see. I Wait a minute, how did that one pop up? Ronald, hold on. I'll get to you next here. I don't believe Riot's facilities were built for HPC. Won't they need to revamp like CORZ or IREN is doing before HPC is an option? The good thing with Riot is that they are building out the 400 megawatts right now. They still have another 600 megawatts, right? They have a 1 gigawatt site there. They could put 300 megawatts of that, 600 megawatts left to build out a HPC tier 3 data center if they wanted to, with the help of some customer that would pay for that or partially pay for it. So there's a possibility that they have there. Okay, Ronald just talking there. Let's see. Do you think MicroStrategy grabs all the attention and suppresses the miners' price targets? I don't think so, no. Okay. Let's see. Mike's Life and Fitness says, I have a diverse portfolio, but Bitfarms is my biggest position at 241 at the time. I didn't think it was a bad price to buy yet. When do you start to worry about Bitfarms? 190 seems like no one is interested. Well, I was buying it today. I think I got it at like 193 today. So I'm still buying. I think it's still way undervalued from where it really should be. And I would start worrying if Bitcoin goes up to like 85, 90, 100,000, and this thing's only like at $250, $3. And I'd start to worry. I mean, because at that point it should be much higher. So I'd worry at that point. From your experience, when is the altcoin season? I'm already Forex on, but not sure about the alt season. I just bought for fun. I don't know. I mean, once Bitcoin starts going up, alt season was going to follow as well. So somewhere around that time, but I'm not into alts anymore. I still have some, but I want to get rid of them by the end of this cycle. Okay. With all the hype on BTC going up very soon, is it a good time to buy call options on the miners? If so, how far out would you go on the calls? I don't do options, so I'm not the right person to ask on that. Some people in here do options and things like that. Maybe they can provide some information on that. Private says, today Bitfarms, Cleanspark, IREN were all way down, even though BTC was up. Do you see more down days coming? I thought we were finally going to see miners up in October. Yeah, we will. I think we still will. Today was a gift potentially for us to buy more in. Do I think they're going to, could we see more before we start going up? Possibly. You just never know with Bitcoin. Let's see. What is the estimated fair value of CORZ shares with income factored in? The slide for future share price was in the $7 range. Yeah, that's not taken into, that's only taken into account the current revenue that they're getting here for the HPCI business. Let's go back to this one here. So that one is looking into it, and we're only adding in, if we look at it here, the 249 million. That's the current monthly revenue for September times 12 plus, we're looking at the HPC hosting revenue here, which is down here. So they had HPC hosting revenue of 5.5 million in Q2, right? Divide that by 3 and add those two together times 12. That's kind of what I'm getting there. So it's peanuts right now from where they will be getting the revenue come next year sometime in second half or the first half, depending when it happens. It might be Q1 or Q2. I just don't know exactly when. But that revenue is going to jump dramatically from there. So it's not taking into account that right now. So if you do include that as well, what are they going to be making there? I have to run the numbers, look at the numbers again to see what they're actually going to be generating here in the beginning on their stuff. We could add that in there and then factor that in potentially as far as where they could be. But the other thing of this is if they actually upgrade their machines, the ASICs that they have for Bitcoin mining to the newer generation and grow their hash rate as well on top of that, that's going to be also beneficial to them there. So it'd be nice to see them do both, but we'll see. Okay. Okay, how bad or good 245 Bitfarms average? That's not bad. You're not too far off from where it is right now. I think if you can dollar cost averaging with these sales that we have potentially, and then I think you'll do much better in the longer run. But you got to be patient and give it a little time. Okay, yeah, that's or Elysia Beam Center says long enough time horizon and you're good to go. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, I think we're pretty much cut up on all your questions, comments. I don't see anything else coming in here. Tomorrow we'll do the what will we do? Bitcoin miners for the month of September. Which ones were the top 5 there? there are some slight changes in those figures for the guys, and we also take a look at their averages for the last 12 months, how they have scored on the same metrics. We use total metrics, right, as always. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll look at other things, other metrics as well after that. So we'll keep going, all right? But that is it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday night. Hope you guys have a great week ahead. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But thanks so much for coming in. Greatly appreciate you guys. Love you all. Have a great night.